Bhaktya mam avijanati yavanyaschaasmi tattvatah. Tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. Now you are in this vast darkness. So this night is that this is all pervasive darkness is there. In that darkness, you are focusing on light. This world is seen by the enlightened one as dream. In his name only I am telling because you know him by his name, Shiva. उमा कहूँ मैं अनुभव अपना सत हरि भजन जगत सब सपना. There are 5 stages of realization, which is beginning is love. When you become, you see, inner focused, you see love only in the world. Nothing else is visible. Hatred is not visible. Jealousy is not visible. You become oblivious. You only love. That is how you become. There is no making choices there. You become like that. When we want to understand something, want to experience, and want to become, these are 3 stages. In every stage, it is wisdom, the quality of our intelligence, which transforms into wisdom. That makes it clear to us. Otherwise, all stories begin to delude us. So first thing is to know this. As Sanjeev ji said, one of the questions, that I realized something yesterday night, but whether I do that nididhyasana or not. Dhyana, manana, nididhyasana. That means, have I pondered something I realized by you? I stopped there, did not do further. Then what is the point? So for that, purification of our intelligence is needed to comprehend. So at the comprehend, when understanding level, when we comprehend, then only all what is outside, all what is objective, visible, that we come to understand that in one lifetime, all this cannot be known. So then we focus on what can be done in this short span of life. If we are seeing by any standard, see why I am saying, because there are only stories and stories, and I am also going to tell you a story. Depends from where you want to listen. So depth of the story, length of the story is infinite. So somewhere we decide that from here we will listen till here. This will make sense to me from this point to that point. One example I give from our Puranas. Every Puran it begins, it gives you a creation theory, where their deity will be the foremost who has created, or whether it is she or he. If it is Devi Puran, then Devi has created. If Shiv Puran, Shiv has created. Vishnu Puran, Vishnu has created. So they make their deity supreme. Now you get more confounded. Until you begin to discern on yourself that what is being told essentially, about whom this story is. So we come to certain words. So everybody agreed on one word, that is Sanatan. Sanatan means endless, beginningless. If you ponder deeply over it, then this becomes here and now. Endless, beginningless, both the centers they have here and now, present. So it is eternal present. There is no past, there is no future. What is happening is in here and now. This is the truth. You all are truth at this moment. If you are not there, what is the point of being something truth for you? You just ponder over it. You are there, then only truth has a value. That means nothing is more valuable nor truthful than you yourself. Because that is the only instrument who is capable of knowing. So we came, what is eternal? That is Shiva. Shiva means that, which is eternal, which is always there. It cannot be moved anywhere. It is, that's all, present. And then we say how it is, then we call it truth. Satyam, Shivam, Sundaram. This is a profound statement that something which is not beautiful cannot be true. Something which is not eternal cannot be true. Truth's definition is that which is eternal. So now I have used the term which, because there are 7 ways you can ask a question. Who, how, where, why, when, what, and which. So if these questions, this way, then we identify, that's called nirupana in Sanskrit, that you have figured out what it is. So as Raghavan asked, is he taking avatars? Who else can take avatar? Here, the one who is present, he only can take avatar. It is a foregone conclusion. If somebody is not there eternally, any avatar we say, whose avatar it will be? Avatar means coming down. If you are in higher consciousness and you decide to come down to make people understand your point, this is avatar. Avtaran means coming, Uttaran means going up. So if you have to understand anything, then any Indic language you take. This I am saying to stay politically correct. I am acknowledging that. Otherwise, you go to the Sanskrit. So others languages are sisters, so somewhat approach they have towards that. Because ultimately any Indian language you focus on, that will lead you towards Sanskrit, Tamil, that way. So there in Sanskrit, every word is telling its meaning. If you decipher that word, first it will break into 2, and if you are much deeper, it will break into every syllable. But then you need a guru. When it becomes a syllable, like if I say ka, so everybody will have a different meaning. You say ka kalam, somebody say ka kalam, somebody say ka kalam, or anything, ka Krishna, ka Christ, ka what. Now everybody will be different, but whose ka belongs to whom? So only our guru tells that this is where, because he wants you to realize something that is truth. So how to, first we have to be clear about it, that what is Shiva we are doing. Then only Shivratri makes a meaning. So we say where from to begin this story. So we say, okay, everywhere else you are listening so many stories, it happened this so many years ago and this happened so many years. I am saying here and now, present. Because in reality, there is no past, there is no future, it is here and now all the time. But how will you make sense? Only when you transcend this all whatever is visible. That is why meditation. That in meditation only this possibility is there, that you transcend time. Otherwise, time has 2 phases. Nobody in science could define time because they don't know. They decide measure of time. Like it took 2 hours for you to reach here, measure of time. Everywhere it is measure of time. Time nobody can define because it is beyond their approach. Time you can decide when you transcend time. So time has 2 parts. We say there are 5 words I use for to make it clear. One is samay. It's a kala. Then there is avshar. There is a avadhi, a muhurt. Muhurt is that something which happens again and again. Muhur. Time and again it happens. And avadhi is duration, in which vad means to get killed. Vad, in which you cannot be killed. That means that is your life span. Avadhi. In that time you can't be killed. It is given. So that is called duration. Then there is also opportunity. Avshar means when you utilize your time best. What for you are here, that is called opportunity. Any time when you can, oh, this is what I am here for, that is opportunity. And then the samay. So samay, one meaning is sahamayam, the one who is with that. Saha means that. Second meaning you take, samaya, the one who is even. So the one who is with that and he is even, so same meaning. So any word you take in Sanskrit, they will give you same meaning. Ultimately, that meaning will be eternal, endless, beginningless. So you transcend beyond words. For that, Krishna says, you go beyond words. Move beyond words. Sabdadi vishyan tyaktva rag dvesh vidushya. So who now he is a problem. Problem is that he is speaking these things in words, that you go beyond words. But he is leaving, giving you a way also. So anything, like we say, what is Shiva? Shiva is dark. What is Krishna? Krishna means dark. Now how are you saying that they are two? Or any deity you take, if you have realized the truth, there is no duality. There are no two. It's your liking. You like this kind of attribute. This suits you. Because for so many births, or in this birth, you have been doing that. Or you are finding that no, this, you see, we say raman karna. Saha yogi ramate chiram. Raman karna. This is, what are you liking? That this way I like it. So you choose that. And as you said, they have guru. Yes, it is only indication it is given. You say, Guru bin bhav nidhi tarah ki koi jo biranj sankarsham hoy. The one, nobody can go cross this sense of being born. There are so many stories about whom we give. One Puran gives Brahma, that how he created, then he got caught into his own creation. It is not about somebody else, it is about you. What you create, you get caught into that. Isn't it everyday business? If you are doing some good design, you fall for it. If we have children, we fall for them. Anything we create, any relationship we create, we get caught into it. So, it says, if you transcend this, then only you realize what is the truth. So here all the spiritual people, they tried that in their time, that people get to the essence, Tattva Gyan. Tattva Gyan, how can you receive? Only when you go inside. Bhaktya mam avijanati yavanyaschasmi tattvata. Tato mam tattvato gyatva vishate tad anantaram. Now you are in this vast darkness. In today's message, I have made it very clear that Guru means darkness, not light. Light you are. The total darkness, that is what Guru is. So, in which you are light. So that's why it is called Uska Avatar Nahi Hota, because nobody knows. So what will they say? But if they look logically, who else's incarnation can happen? So the one who is, now who is that? That until you realize, you become internal, that you come to yourself. That now I have explored outside enough. Now I have sufficient time, then you become subjective. From objective to subjective. Then when you become subjective, then you move towards essential. Before that, you will not be in a position to, because all that objective knowledge will keep pulling you. All these forms which we are knowing today, this as he say, Jayaji say, Rudra. Yes, in Atharvaved it comes. In Rigaved also 39 times almost Shiva comes as a Rudra. So that later on when Puranas came, the same thing became Shiva. Rudra only became Shiva. So this is because to comprehend for people, that they could understand and relate. But it is not anybody's story. It is your story only. But this all are your attributes, what you are worshipping here and there. This is you only. Who else you can be? It's no possibility. Whom you are worshipping, you are that only. Only you are not realized. When you realize, as in Sahaj Smriti Yog, we see there are 10 we have divided. That you begin with Arth, initiate you become. That you have some trouble, then you feel. Arth is not always in trouble. Arth means somebody is overwhelmed. Like some child told me that when she was small, she used to hear this Gajendra Moksh story and she was overwhelmed. That is also art, that, oh, if such good is the Krishna, I want to propitiate him. Why not he'll help me if he is helping Gajendra? So she became her devotee. So art is not always when you are trouble. I say it can be because of your devotion also. But stages will be same. Art, artharthi, jigyashu, jnani, sadhak, siddh, then you become ishta, bhakt, and then finally disciple, shish. Shish and guru are not different. They are one and the same only. Only a disciple knows that who is my guru. Nobody else knows. Because it is a very personal relationship with your the ultimate being. Now, if you do not see that in any human being, then you become a believer. Then you are lost because there is nobody to corroborate. You go to any place of worship, irrespective of any religion. You go there and you fold your hand and say your prayers. You only are saying prayers. You only are getting answers. There is nobody coming outside and saying, yes, this is true. Here, in this Sanatan Parampara, that is why it will always be, and that is why it is the only carrier of the truth. Because here it is always between living human beings. So when you trust another living human being, you don't know what will he say next moment. If you are considering him ultimate, and he is living like you, and so you are ultimate. Now ultimate tomorrow says, no, go do this, which you never wanted to do. Then you say, oh, what kind of ultimate you are? This is not problem in a temple, church or mosque, because he is not, nobody is there. You can say anything, you can get any answer you want, and you move on. So that is where the delusion starts. With living beings, there is no delusion, because you will ask 10 questions. If somebody is asking you, why you are telling me this, you have a right to ask, clear me on this. Why should I do this? Until you become focused to yourself, then you begin to know on your own. When your relationship becomes so much clear, then you begin to know within yourself. That is why there are 4 levels of language, we say. Vaikri, in which we are speaking, then Madhyama, Pashyanti, and Para. So Madhyama onwards, Madhyama, when we were sitting in meditation, that was Madhyama. That means you are alone with yourself, but thoughts are going, things are going, emotions are going. Sometimes there is some, illuminance, depending on how intense we are, accordingly. And then you transcend that there is another level of peace. So all this depends on our sadhana. But without Guru, it doesn't happen, real sadhana. It is because every saint has made it clear. If any story we are listening, be it any Puran, any religion, we are listening it through saints only. Somebody has written, and then we have forgotten the writer and what he has written. It's like going to watch a movie, you hardly notice who is the director. Writer of the story, you are not saying who is the dialogue writer, you are not aware even, not focusing much. Only actor you are seeing and story you are seeing. But what is the truth? Truth is that some writer wrote it. This is deeper truth than what is being acted on the screen. Isn't it? That somebody wrote it, somebody made it into dialogues. So that is how the truth gets, far away from you, because we do not focus on the main thing. So 2-3 things, because time I have given you this much only. So there is a limit. I am saying, let us begin. I will tell in a very nutshell a story now. If by this Ratri, because I have not spoken about this Ratri. See, Ratri means we all know what's the night. But it has many. Ratri, 3 kinds of Ra. That's a very, very different meaning if you go into the words. So let us not go to that deep. Let us begin with this what we are seeing. So all of us know from the science now following that more they go to discover outer space, more the darkness they are seeing than light. Majority is that of the darkness, not that of the light. Your universe is flickering like this small, tiny thing. That is how Even now people have discovered. Science has to go a lot more. But seers of this land, they did other way around. They focused on themselves. Let me figure out who am I, how am I, where am I. Because this is the instrument through which I will know. There is no other authenticity outside. Anything I am knowing, this is the thing. So let me figure out what is the truth of it. So they became spiritual. So they figured out that this everything dismantled. So I am not this body, I am not this mind, I am not this self, I am not this soul, I am nothing out of it. Then they transcended. That is where, when you transcend to that level, that is where the samay which we are saying, that becomes Sanatan. So its time has two phases. One is here, that's we say everything is depending on time. Somebody's good time has come, somebody's not so good time has come. So one phase of time is to keep this all moving, another phase is eternal, which is never, not known to anyone until you go there. Yad gatva na nivartante tad dhamam paramam. There you reach, not as a body, as a consciousness. Here and now, in this world, so many are there, those who have reached, but do we know them? How will you figure out? Until you have reached, you will not figure out. But you will have something inkling that maybe this person knows. So you go and ask your question. So this night is that this is all pervasive, darkness is there. In that darkness, you are focusing on light. Every month the Shivratri comes. Shiva means, as I said, eternal. Night is eternal. This darkness is eternal. As the light is eternal, so is the darkness. So every month it is coming on the 14th, which we Amavash, before one day to Purnima. So it comes that day, but it is celebrated because this time in our land, the nature is very conditioned. Otherwise, half of the world, if you see, there will be day, not night. So even in this world, it is not universal. But in this land, in this part, it is, we are finding that this is conditioned. Because that time, if you are seeing so good wind is blowing, we are seeing, witness here and now. This. So very many factors, but these are very tiny factors. You are much more capable of doing that. But what happens is, if so many people are assembled on the same day across and they are sending the right vibration every time, then so many good things can happen. This is a proven fact. You can see it very many ways. Suppose, a very common example I am giving. Everybody decides to vote somebody, he will become what for you have voted him. It's manifested. So you are more subtle. If subtly you become one, what all you can't do in this manifestation? You can manifest anything. Because these are your attributes. All the Naam Japas you are doing, what are those? You are identifying the reality by different attributes. That this attribute I love, or any, so many thousands of names of everyone, those are attributes of that. But who is there you call by any name? Somebody says Krishna, somebody says Kali, somebody says Shiva. So what they are liking, that this kind of form, with these attributes, this is good to me. This is my liking. But if you go beyond all likes and dislikes, there is some reality waiting out there. But for that, you have to reach all these stages of consciousness where beyond doubt you know that these are all your attributes. Because what is real, I am telling you one thing, ponder over it. If you are not eternal, you as an individual, does it mean anything to you somebody else is eternal? If you are not there, no value, nothing. If you are not there, because you have never thought that deeply. So we say here all the time, wake up. And that is why this tradition. In the night, one whole night, you wake up. So at least you register the sentiment. Let us wake up in real sense. So we figure out some day, some festival, oh, that day we will all assemble, so that this concept of this you see, awareness of waking up, that we should be awake, we should be aware all the time. If you are aware, then only you know the meaning of dhyana marana nidhyasana. Because then you know, okay, I have got limited time in this life span. First, let me figure out myself, then I'll figure out who is Shiva or who is not Shiva. Let me figure out who has to figure out. That one. That is why you go to somebody you call Guru, because you say he knows who he is. He has figured himself inside out. So, that you are fortunate, all of us are fortunate that we are born in this land where this tradition has been eternally there. Unbroken tradition of Guru Shishya Parampara. Because it cannot happen any other way around. If we all are not from the one who is there, then it will not make sense, even logically. If you have thought deeply over it. Logically, I am saying, no meditation required. Just logical thinking. Advaitavad you can easily reach by logical thinking. That you will declare, yeah, this is the truth. Then only you move beyond. Once that you figure out, oh, all this doesn't exist, I am there, now let me figure out. So then you become a seeker. Then you look for a Guru who has figured this out. And then your journey begins. So today in the world, we are in the best position because every time, why we have so many, I think we are richest in the world and oldest, of course. Everybody is one on this, that Vedic literature is the oldest one. There is no doubt about it. Everybody agreed. And that for so many years, it was oral. And I am talking about written Veda. People are saying written Vedas are the oldest. What about the oral? From when they are coming as oral tradition? Because people have that capacity to memorize. So you are the center of the world. But you forgot yourself. So if you tell your story correctly, humbly, that this is how it all happened, then it will benefit each one in the world. You see, honestly, anytime you do this, anywhere any struggle is happening in the world between the countries, anywhere, you just sit and here I say simple Indian can figure out where they are going wrong and where they are going right. Because we have this sense of justice. Our first darshan is Nyaya darshan. That we should begin from that. Sankhya people say, but it is Nyaya. So, this is who we are. So first we should figure out ourselves, and this I have told that Ratri means the darkness. In darkness, when everywhere is, then the light becomes valuable. So you realize this. Where are you basing your intellect? Where will you trust? From where you will begin? Somewhere you have to begin. Then this I consider the truth. So then you go to the Guru, then he says, no, the first you define the truth. Then you will say, this is truth or not truth. So with that definition, and then you ponder over by and by, then automatically you become, you see, inner focused. You start focusing on yourself, subjective understanding. Then you realize the truth by and by. Then there is nothing which will not be clear to you. Anytime you pose a question, there will be an answer. Until your all questions are over. Nobody is needed for that. Only you need to be honest with yourself. So then only all these things which we are saying will begin to make sense. So I am saying this is the significance that you need to awake in real sense. Because this world is seen by the enlightened one as dream. In his name only I am telling, because you know him by his name, Shiva. Uma kahau mein anubhav apna, sat hari bhajan, jagat sab sapna. This world is a dream. Whom we are celebrating today, this is his. Again he has to speak through someone. Because you are seeing he is all pervasive, always there. Until you become all pervasive everywhere, then only you will recognize him. Till then, how will you recognize? Otherwise, somebody has made a photograph, somebody's imagination, you say, is that true or not true? There is no point in saying yes or no for me. Because that another story you will register in your mind. I don't want to give you stories. I want you to become the truth, your own story. That this is my story. Everybody is. If you are truthful, why not? There has to be a story. Your story. This is my story, which is most authentic. No loopholes in it. Because other than me, I don't know anybody more authentic. First, I am giving you a definition of truth. Truth is that which is eternal. And in Indic languages, we say eternal as shiv. Which is eternal, that means shiv, sanatan. So truth, anything else is relatively truth, not supreme truth, ultimate truth. Ultimate truth is only sanatan. That is why we say sanatan satya. Word sanatan we put first, satya sanatan we do not say. We say sanatan satya, sanatana dharma. Why we put sanatan? So that you do not forget that truth also needs definition. Otherwise, anything becomes truth these days. You tell 10 stories with so many mouths and it becomes a truth. A lie as a truth. So, if something is not coming on this, then you have every right to question it. No, this is not coming on my scale of eternity. Then this may be relative truth, because we say no ahansha bhav. There are 5 stages of realization, which is beginning is love. When you become, you see, inner focused, you see love only in the world. Nothing else is visible. Hatred is not visible. Jealousy is not visible. You become oblivious. You only love. That is how you become. There is no making choices there. You become like that. You have only love for all. That is where I say consciousness is different from these your moods, emotions and all that. Consciousness is entirely different. Recently I have written an article of food, freedom and the time. So that gives an idea more about it, that how it is. So you become, beginning is love. Second stage is dharma. That means now you know you alone are responsible for what you have to do. Then a third stage is truth. Now you come to know what is truth. Once you know the truth, then you become non-violence, ahimsa. That is where I am saying that everybody's relative truth you begin to accept. Yes, this is relative truth, but it's not ultimate truth. Because ultimate truth can only be eternal, which is never changing. So in other words, people say that is Shiva. So this is how many people through their imagination, they want to reach somewhere, want to stable, feel that here I have found a station. But how? Through their wisdom, that they are not realizing. I am saying, as in the film's case, they don't remember mostly, I am saying. Some may be remembering. Writers, they see on the screen, actor acting, how good it was, and how bad. So here, the main thing people are forgetting, that truth has to be eternal. That is where, so it is coming through your wisdom, that you are forgetting. You only decide something or fix on it that this is truth for me. Then you move forward. All our Upanishadic stories are like that. There have been a guru and there have been a disciple. They sat together, did a dialogue, come to the conclusion, give it to the posterity. That this is how we are seeing currently now. This is the truth now. Tomorrow what it will be? Tomorrow, because who is getting circulated? Any yuga, any age, you and I are only there. Is it coming from somewhere else? No. We are getting recycled again and again, more evolved. So people, because they are not known, if you tell somebody, suppose for the example following Buddha, and you say, in fact you are more evolved than your Buddha. So they hold their ears, what are you saying? If somebody is Shiva follower, I say, in fact, if you don't mind, you are more evolved than your Shiva. then they'll say, oh, man has gone mad. Because they are so scared of their bigness. They don't want to realize how they are. Fear. So you are in Guru's eyes, that's why the Guru is needed for all, that in Guru's eyes alone we are always liberated. We are always ultimate being. So whenever we go to him, we will say our real picture. Oh, this is who I am. So if you are down, you will go up. If you are up, you will go more up. So everywhere, then you read any scripture, you said, I have already read it. Anywhere, I am giving you a challenge. If you become like this, any scripture you read, you already know this, what is written. Though you may not have read it at all. That is how they are saying. Why? And it's verified by it. Jaki Sahaj Smriti Chari, so Hari Padhe Kautupari. Tulsi is saying this about his Ram. It is surprising to me that in his Sahaj Sans, all the Vedas are there flowing. What is the need for him to read anything? Why he is going to read? These are the questions. So these are indications that for the sake of it, you make somebody, because you have to make somebody bigger from you so that you don't become egoistic and your downfall doesn't happen. So don't make it an imaginary, make it a real. Then your progress will also be real. Otherwise, we keep roaming in our own mind and we don't get. For liberation, as I am referring to that article again, I have quoted 4 words there: freedom, independence, salvation and liberation. What is the difference between the 4? In one sense, there are synonyms. But if the context changes, then only there is a difference. But you have already made up in your mind that when I am saying liberation, I am talking about something after death. I am not talking. I am talking here and now. If I am saying salvation, you are saying something free from all sins and all. If I am saying free, you are talking about political freedom. If I am saying independence, you are talking about how am I well settled, I am not depending on anyone. I am not saying all of these. These are your stories. I just give you 4 words. I said, come out, what is the difference between these? So until and unless we recognize ourselves as pure consciousness, there is no way for us to know who we really are. Because that is the beginning. Then only everything, why this Shivratri is there, everything will become clear to you. Because I am telling you this story, this is, but how many will trust it? I am saying because darkness is more. You see in terms of volume, darkness is more than the light. You ask any astrophysicist, ask any space explorer, they will verify it. Then at least trust me that this is, darkness is more. Seers realized it. So they said, now how will I tell the story? So they gave a method. Okay, this day you assemble and do this. Learn to stay awake. Learn to stay awake. Make one grand story. Tell to the whole world so that they unite on this story. And there is tribes and other things, religions, nations, caste, creed, everything they forget for some time. They are pure consciousness. What is the story of pure consciousness? So we are in saying Sahaj Smriti Yog, intellect to intelligence to wisdom. 3 steps. This is your story. Then you will know every story, that it will make you sense, okay, there is darkness, that is why light is needed. So we are meditating in darkness. So we choose a night which is most dark, so that it physically also it makes sense. So everything starts falling. So this is the rhythm of stars, this is the rhythm of planets, how it is happening. But always remember, if you can, you are more powerful than all that exists. This small human being walking on 2 feet is so powerful that he can move whole universe like a top. This much powerful you are, each one of you. Because you are verily that That is what our Upanishad says. Tattvamasi. That you are that eternal. You are whom you are looking for.